Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler! This is a spoiler warning. Across the Hunger Games trilogy, we are met with a complicated love triangle between Katniss, Gale, and Peeta. A mix of both romantic love, that is, feelings and attraction, as well as real love, that is, actions of self-sacrifice. But what is the difference, and who did Katniss really love? Left to their own devices, I believe Katniss and Gale would probably have ended up married and childless, continuing to barely survive life. But upon the Hunger Games and the introduction of Peeta to her life, Peeta offers an alternative future. Once she realized that Peeta was not an enemy, but an ally, she sacrifices a lot for him. I think she started actively loving him long before she admitted that she actually had feelings for him. But Katniss is confused by the constancy of Gale's presence in her life. She comes to Gale's rescue when he is being publicly whipped, and Gale does his best to look out for Prim for Katniss's sake. Even though there's an element of initial growing attraction, I think Katniss feels more brotherly love for him than anything else. But he is full of fire and willingness to burn, and this becomes more apparent the deeper into the rebellion that the story goes. He represents war and anger, and Katniss eventually realizes that this is not what she wants, and she rejects him. Peeta, on the other hand, is more of a security blanket for Katniss. After the trauma of the Hunger Games, she wants to be left alone to work through her emotions and to heal. And this is what Peeta can provide for her, a safe place to do this, and she finally accepts that she loves him. But when Peeta is brought back to District 13 after being hijacked, he is no longer a safe place for Katniss and seems too far gone for her to save. It takes the chaos of the battlefield in the capital for this to change. Katniss allows herself the vulnerability of accepting she has feelings for Peeta and begins again to act with real love towards him. Did Peeta always love Katniss? Initially, he had a crush on her and he was in love with the idea of her. He used that crush to his advantage to try to survive the games, and while he was kind and compassionate, he also had a manipulative side and was able to use his natural charm to get a certain response out of people. He did genuinely want Katniss to survive though, and was a willing sacrifice for her sake. By the end of Mockingjay, Peeta starts to see the real Katniss and falls in love with who she really is. It is here that his motives finally become pure, and we see this when he plants primroses in the Victor's village for Katniss's sake as a tribute to her dead sister. So does Suzanne Collins intend for Katniss and Peeta to represent the epitome of love? No, her priority is expressing the terrors and long-lasting effects of war trauma and the desensitization of the media. But she does a really good job in presenting sacrifice, and therefore love, for the sake of others, even through the lens of a band of selfish individuals living in impossible circumstances.